This is Tarron, Twist Mesquite Performance Horses, coming to you on this cold and frigid morning here in Poolville, Texas. We're doing a review with Cairo here. This is his third week in the program. This morning we took his blankets off and jumped right on him, and he just walked off just like nothing. And he's handling it a lot better than I am this morning. Anyway, so we wanted to do a review of this horse this week, kind of showing what we've been working on for this week. So I believe end of last week we started working on this bending at the walk. When I started him at this right here, he was kind of wanting to do a little spin, kind of stepping around more so than going around this circle. And so we've just been able to, been working on just keeping his forward motion where he gets soft and keeps going around this circle. Our goal with these horses is to create soft, responsive, respectful horses that are respectful to you on the ground and under saddle, to where they're responsive. So when you're riding them, you pick up, they go where you want them to go. They do what you're asking them to do. Or they're broke, but that's our goal with these horses, to create good, soft, respectful broke horses. The basics of this program, then, these horses, our goal is to create a world-class 2-year-old program that specializes in the rein cow horse. And so the foundation we put on these horses, the more we develop it, the better we get. We're looking to having horses that perform at the highest level in the cow horse. And all of this stuff is going to create a great foundation on a ranch horse. Is where this horse is going to go. He's going to go to be used on the ranch. Go day work on him. They're probably going to start roping on him and putting him to work. But these, we're teaching these horses a frame of mind, teaching these horses how to think, how to process information, how to, we put them in a bind to where they have to think their way through that situation, so that we're preparing these horses so no matter who gets them later on, as long as that person is able to ask them and then rewards them when this horse finds the right answer, these horses are prepared to learn in that environment. They leave here with a certain foundation, and the exercises and how we get them soft and respectful and all of that stuff is important, but the mindset that these colts leave with is the most important thing. And so that right there, we were working on there, and then we started, we moved on from a one rein stop. It was preparation. It was a stepping stone. It was preparation, and we've moved on from that to yielding them to a stop, getting them to get soft, kicking that hip out, and then now we've progressed on to transitioning them down to this bend, down to this bending at a walk here, to where I take my feet off of him, and I want him to stop and get down to a walk and just walk around here soft, quiet, and responsive. And as soon as I put my feet on him, we go somewhere. We go again. I can steer him. So I have my feet on him still. I'm wanting him to move forward. He understands that. And I'll steer him. I can steer him any direction. You see all this bending we're doing, all these flexing, all these one rein stops, all this stuff gets that nose gets that body soft, gets that head, neck, nose, and body soft to where you have a little bend in the direction that you're going. Because we want this horse to follow his nose in the direction of where we're going. And so I'll ask him with that direction rein, I'll ask him and I'll push him over there a little bit with my outside foot and take him that direction. And they may not know exactly what each foot means from the very beginning, but I start using them from the very beginning. And then as we go, then we start teaching them exercises to where they start figuring out what that foot means on either side of their body. Here in a little while, we'll teach them what it means to move that shoulder off of my leg, where we can push the shoulders over further. But all of this stuff is just, like this horse here just trotting out. He's trotting on a loose rein, soft, respectful, responsive. He's not resisting it. We're just riding around here, and this is what I want to see. This is the type of horse that we produce, that we're wanting to produce for our clients. And it makes for an enjoyable ride with whatever you're doing. If you're going to compete, or you're going out on the ranch, you're going out on the trail, if you have this horse that has that frame of mind and has that kind of control, it makes it enjoyable. And so we've been working on that. We're still getting to where he lopes off, quicker, where there's not so much time in there from when I put my feet on him. So that departure into that lope is quicker. We're still working on getting that better. And he's getting better all the time. But all of that does come with, making sure that departure is good from a walk, a trot, and then up into the lope, to where you just have, it's not a difference of cues. It's not a difference of cues. It's just another level of pressure. And so that they start to understand that when I have more pressure on him, I want him to go and get up into that lope. He's very conscious of what lead he is in. And so, he'll try to break down and get into that correct lead if I'm just guiding him around. See, at this moment, if he picks up the correct lead, that's awesome. Like, that's great. And I certainly won't stand in his way to do that. But at this moment, I just want to be able to guide him. I want him to be at that lope, stay at that lope, and I want to be able to guide him in whatever direction I need him to go. And he's thinking to himself, he understands that he needs to be in that, in the correct lead, going in that direction. So it's certainly more difficult for him, but it's just something we're working on. I do like that he's naturally leaded, where he understands which lead he needs to be in. So it makes for a good time. But so we're just working with more of this stuff right here, to where I transition down to that walk from that lope. So we're just like with our other exercises, we're working on asking him to speed up into that gait and then come back down and get soft. And eventually when we get to a point to where I'm picking up on 2 reins and drawing him back down, I want it to be the same way. I want him to stop. I want him to draw back down to the gait he was in before, or draw back down to that walk softly, and where he's soft. Instead of, a lot of times you'll see somebody, their horse is running off and they're trying to pull on him, and he's stiff and fighting it, and there's no softness. There's no softness to that. But all of this stuff, everything we do is going towards the vision and the, where we want these horses to go. Let's kind of guide this horse around a little bit. He's not following his nose very good there. We're just going to kind of work on this a little bit. And all it is just more time doing it. We can teach him the basics of following his nose at a walk and a trot, but at the lope, you just got to do it. It's it's uncomfortable when a horse isn't, when these young horses are trying to figure out their legs, and they're trying to figure out where to go, and they're not following their nose, and they're fighting it and resisting it, and the lope is rough. They're not soft, but you got to get through that ugly point to get to the point to where they understand, and it's nice and pretty, and how you want it to be. See, he's following his nose better here. He's traveling out, he's figuring out, he's starting to figure out where his feet are, making sure that he's keeping his feet underneath himself. And I'll wait for him to get soft right here to bring that nose back to me, and I'll give it back to him. I'm really pleased with where this horse is, how he's getting better. Some things I notice with him that I'm wanting to continue to work on is guiding him at that lope, guiding him and getting him following his nose better to where he's willingly guided all across here. He's kind of has some draws. He's kind of drawing, and he's kind of drawing back towards where we have those other horses, and so his mind's kind of over there with those other horses a little bit. So I want to continue to work on that. And then just keep progressing him. I'd like him to get a little softer right here when we're bending him around this walk. But those are just improvements that I see overall. Overall, he's doing extremely well. Like I said, this is week 3. He had some riding on him before he came. He was started really well. There wasn't any holes that we had to go back, or bad habits that were started. And so he's been able to progress and do really well. So, we want to just keep that going. Make sure that, we're doing a good job with him, making sure that, we do a good job with every bit of these different things. And just like that lope, it's a small thing. It's a small thing that I notice. I want to get better, but every one of those things makes a difference on the whole. So, you know, I like right there, I took my feet off and he stopped. And so he's starting to figure out when my feet are on him, that means we're going to move forward. When I take my feet off, that means it's okay to stop and rest here. So that's our review with Cairo for this week. Like I said, I'm proud of how he's come along, and he's doing really well. So we'll catch up with you on the next one.